I built this AI automation that automatically creates your carousel posts with one click of a button. It uses the Nano banana image model to create beautiful carousels with just one click. So I'm going to show you guys the workflow, and you are able to download the entire template for free. First link in the description. Make sure you guys go and download that to follow along. So let me get straight into the workflow. All right, so here's a demo of the workflow. In the Telegram right here, I wrote a quick little prompt asking for it to create a carousel. And as you can see right here, this is the first post, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and it also keeps your logo on the top and consistent so it looks nice and branded. On top of creating carousels, this workflow can also create one image. So this is an example with the logo on top, just one image, and it even has the CTA. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys exactly how to create this workflow. So we're going to start with a Telegram node right here. This just gets the message from Telegram. Then we're going to send the info into this AI agent with the prompt being based on the user request to classify the request type is, and then we have carousel, and then we have image, and then here it's going to say if the request is to create many images at once, or if the request is to create a single image. This is just going to classify which workflow we're going to run down. And then here we have the user prompt from the Telegram. We have the json.message.text. That's pretty much whatever the person wrote in Telegram. For the AI agent here, we're going to use Open Router with Gemini 2.5 Flash, and we're going to have a structured output right here. This is a bit complex, so just copy and paste this. Then we have the Telegram node right here. This Telegram node is just to send a message that says, please wait a second while we're generating blank for the request. This is just going to send your Telegram a message so that it's a responsive UI and you know that the workflow is actually working. And then after that, we're going to go to a switch node here. And this switch node is going to decide whether we go down the image generation path or the carousel path. And all we're going to do is we're going to take what the last node did, the AI agent. Here it should either say carousel or image, and we're going to say is equal to whether it's image or carousel, and that's going to help pick the path here. So if it's the image generation, we have a prompt generator here, and then the prompt is going to be pretty long here. The assistant is tasked with creating social media infographic posts for various topics while maintaining a consistent cinematic AI tech aesthetic. The user will provide different topics, and the assistant must adapt the core visual style, layout structure, and messaging to fit each new subject while preserving the high-end futuristic design language. And then here we have the task that we give it. We have the objective, and then knowledge, and then the visual style foundation here. We just give it a bunch of information. And then I also gave it right here a example prompt to kind of copy the format of. You guys can read this. If you download the template, you can read this entire prompt to kind of make sense out of it. And then we are using Perplexity here, just in case the information that we want the post to be about is something newer. We can research the topic to get the latest information on it. And here I'm just using 4.1 mini as the model. Then I have a set system prompt here. This is just a hard-coded variable where I have a logo URL. So this is just a image. So I'll show you guys. This is just an image of my logo, as you can see. And then I also have here a example URL. So this URL will just be an example of the post you'd like to use inspiration from. This is the image that I'm taking inspiration from. And these will be sent into Nano Banana, as well as the system prompt, which is just the output of the prompt generator right here. So we get the system prompt there. Then I have a HTTP request to connect to kai.ai. If you don't know what kai.ai is, it's basically a marketplace where you can use a bunch of different image models and video models all in one spot, and it's a bit cheaper. So I like to use kai.ai. Basically, using their documentation, we make a post request right here using this URL, and then we are going to use this JSON as the input. So right here you can see we're using Nano banana edit, and I'm just putting in the prompt right here as well as the image URLs, so the logo and the example URL. So the output format in PNG, as well as the image size 4x5. So this is just the request we're sending into kai.ai for the image being made. And then once we run that, I put a 60-second wait node. This is just so that we wait for the image to get created. And then we have to call a get image. So this is basically just getting the image that we just created into N8N. So it's going to be a get method right here. And then this is based on their API documentation. This is the URL you want to use, as well as the task ID that was provided from the last node creating the image. Because once the image is created, it will give you, if it goes well and it works, it will give you a code of 200, which means it succeeded, and it will also give you a task ID, which is kind of like its unique ID to retrieve the image. This is going to retrieve the image, and then we're going to do another request just parsing the URL itself. So this is just the URL of the image, and this is going to download the image straight into N8N. And then all we're going to do is send that data, that binary data that we just downloaded, straight to the chat ID of our chatbot, and that's going to send the image into Telegram. So now for the carousel generation part, what we're going to do is we're going to have our AI agent here, and this is going to be the prompt. It is a bit of a long prompt, so I'm just going to go over some of it. So you're an expert who transforms a user request into structured instructional plan with visual prompts, and then you give it some tasks. So the first task, always create 3 to 6 steps unless specified otherwise. Each step must represent a single atomic action or conceptual stage. For each, provide task, describe the scene, and you guys can read through all this on your own time. We also give it some rules right here. So just some rules to follow, and then an example output. So this is just the JSON format of an example output that we want. We want the task and then the visual prompt, the task and then the visual prompt. This is basically just going to give us all the information we need to create the carousel posts. And then I also added the user prompt here so that we get what we wrote, all that data straight into here. So this just grabs the message from our first Telegram trigger node. So once we run through that, we go into a split node, and it's going to be output right here. We're just going to split the output, and that's going to take our array and just split it into a number of objects all individually. So we're going to have all these as individual objects instead of all into an array. And then once it splits it out, we're going to be able to loop over each one of those prompts. So we just run a loop over items node with the batch size of 1. And then over here, we have something very similar to before. We have the set system prompt. But over here, I do have the same logo and the same example URL, but I have a different prompt here. So create a 1080 by 1350 cinematic AI style social media post inspired by the example image. Place the company logo at the top. Follow the structure: heading bold, centered, and all uppercase. Subheading short and relevant, placed right below the heading. Main visual: a futuristic 3D tech figure or object glowing with this color light in the center. Background: dark cinematic lighting with depth and contrast. Keep the design modern, clean, and cinematic. No typos, clear spacing, and perfect balance between text and visuals. Make sure there's no CTA at the bottom because my reference image does have a CTA. So that is going to be the prompt. And then here for the create image, it's pretty much like before. We're running the same post method right here to create the image. And then for the prompt, we're just going to be putting all the prompts that we created. So all the different, for example, the visual prompt, the heading, the subheading, all the information, we're putting it in the prompt here. The system prompt, just so it has as much context as possible in the prompt. And then for the image URLs, we just have the logo and the example URL like so. And then that's going to create the image. We have the wait node again. And then over here, we're going to do the exact same get image. Super simple. We're just going to get the task ID. That's going to retrieve the last image we created. And then we download that image right there. And then we send that image off to Telegram, just like before. The only difference here is right after that move, we go straight back to the loop over items so that we can go over each prompt and we'll create our carousel just like that. So this workflow is a little harder to understand. It's a little more complex and there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of API usages connecting to APIs and kind of connecting everything together. So it is a little more advanced. But I hope you guys can get it to work. If you're a business owner that wants me to build you a workflow like this, or you want a done-for-you system, something I can just set up for you that works for you and your brand, you can go in the description and book a call with me and I can talk to you about some AI solutions. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and a subscribe. Just remember, if you do want the template or all the prompts, you can go in the school first link in the description and you can download it right there. Also, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave it in the comments or you can DM me in school. I'll do my best to get through all the questions and help you guys. I know this workflow is a bit harder, so there's a lot of moving pieces, but I'm sure you guys will be able to figure it out. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.